Can you feel it? The air hangs heavy, thick with silence, a stillness that stretches beyond words, like the calm before a storm you sense but can't see. Your senses sharpen, the faint scent of rain, the leaf rustle whispering secrets. Something unseen draws near, sacred yet unsettling. Are you prepared to face what lurks in the shadows? Tonight could shift everything you thought you knew. The truth behind the silence is waiting, hidden just beneath your awareness. The question lingers. Are you willing to listen to that quiet voice inside, the one that already knows? Because if you do, you might discover a protective presence, grounding you amid the chaos, guiding you through unseen dangers. The night is ripe for awakening. Are you ready to step into it? My beloved child, something very big is coming tonight. You're not ready yet, but this chaos will set the stage for your awakening. You're about to meet a force, my presence, that's coming for a reason. Two people will soon show up in your life. They're not for your good, but they're not evil either. No, they carry fragments of light, yes, but also confusion. They seem kind, noble even, drawn by a hidden part of themselves, parts seeking validation, healing. They are mirrors, reflections. Messengers? No, they're reflections, showing you what's inside but not sent to guide. Be careful, their words will sound gentle, their intentions noble. But beneath that, their energy. It's a current you shouldn't invite into your sanctuary. Because what they carry, unseen but potent, can stir doubts, cloud your clarity, disturb what I've been calming inside you. Walk wisely. Feel without fear. Remember, I am greater than even these shadows, and discernment is your shield tonight. Tonight, a quiet truth stirs in the air, like whispers slipping through cracked windows, soft but persistent. The light flickers, shadows dance just beyond sight, and in the stillness, something sacred waits. Imagine a child clutching a trembling rosary, eyes wide with innocence, aware that unseen forces are weaving themselves into the fabric of her world. Outside, the ancient trees seem to huddle close, their shadows whispering secrets only the gentle wind might understand. The scent of cedar and beeswax drifts with a hint of rain on the horizon, grounding her in the moment. In that sacred space, a voice, calm, commanding, reminds her, "You're protected, you're never alone." But the truth is, not everyone who appears is for your good. Little does she know, a pair of seemingly kind strangers are about to cross her path. They carry fragments of light, but also confusion, charming, conflicted, pulling her eyes away from her true purpose. Their words, gentle as a lullaby, hide currents that threaten to stir doubt and dim her clarity. The question hangs heavy. Can she discern the genuine from the false? Can she listen past the surface, past the charm, to the voice inside that always knows? The night beckons, urging her to pause, to feel, to trust that even in silence there's understanding, a divine whisper guiding her through unseen darkness toward awakening. Will she embrace the storm within, or let the shadows overwhelm her? The choice is hers, and the journey has only just begun. Under the flickering shadows, a sudden gust rattles the window pane, sharp, sudden. Shadows stretch and sway, dancing across the room's corners. Silence deepens. A faint whisper of footsteps, unseen but undeniably present, drifts toward her. The child's breath quickens, senses sharpening as awareness prickles her skin. She clutches the rosary tighter, feeling the weight of unseen forces curling in the dark. Outside, leaves rustle, an ominous lullaby. The atmosphere charges. In that fragile moment, she senses a tug. Trust wavering against the allure of glimmering shadows, the two unseen people flickering like dying stars, their charm almost hypnotic. The protective spirit's voice pauses mid-sentence, a whisper of warning humming in her mind. Will she trust her inner voice, or step closer to the dark allure? The night is heavy, thick with unspoken questions. Something's about to unfold, something that will shape her belief in what's real. The choice hovers, silent but heavy with meaning. One step closer, and everything changes. A faint glow filters through stained glass, casting kaleidoscopic patterns across the worn wooden altar. The scent of incense lingers, thick with history. A gentle hand, warm, reassuring, guides the trembling fingers of a child to an old, leather-bound Bible. Outside, the soft whisper of wind carries the distant song of cherub voices blending with the flickering candle flames. Silence hangs heavy, yet within it, a divine presence beckons. Innocence meets the celestial in that sacred moment, an unspoken promise carved into the soul. This space, suspended between light and shadows, becomes a silent shield of safety amid unseen dangers. The heart stills, awakening to a truth. Protection is already inside. Faith is the compass. The child's gaze lifts to the unseen beyond, questioning, trusting. In that stillness, the divine whispers, "You are never alone." The darkness may gather, but within, a steady light remains. In the quiet stir of night, something shifts, an unseen whisper skimming the edges of her mind. Ila Monroe sits still, eyes flickering between shadows and the faint glow of candlelight. The air's thick with the scent of rain and moss, a sacred silence that hums with possibilities. Suddenly, a shimmer flickers, a brief, almost teasing glint. Then two figures step out from the darkness. Their faces are familiar, yet distorted, almost indecipherable. At first, there's a flicker of relief. Maybe these are guides, sincere and kind, but as the glow dims, it reveals something else. These aren't threats, but fragments of her own fears, doubts cloaked as guides, whispering false promises. Her heart races. The shadows aren't just outside, something inside stirs, demanding she trust herself more. The moment becomes a mirror. The real lesson isn't outside protection, but inner discernment, learning to see through illusions and trust the quiet, steady light within. In the quiet shadow of night, where whispers hide just beyond sight, there's a child standing at a crossroad. Her small hand trembles as she reaches toward a shimmering silhouette, two unseen people, whose luminous smiles hide something deeper. The air grows thick, heavy with unspoken secrets. Somewhere outside, the wind whispers softly, carrying messages from beyond, mysteries only the brave can hear. Suddenly, flickering shadows dance just beyond her vision, darting like fleeting doubts. The question hangs in the hush. Should she trust what looks familiar, or peer into the darkness with caution? As her fingers hover, the protective spirit's voice fades into silence. Now, everything feels suspended, waiting for her choice. Will her heart listen to the whispers of trust, or will fear tip the scales? The story pauses here, caught between light and shadow, shadows that might be friend or foe. And the next moment, everything could change. In a quiet room, shadows dance on the walls. A small child sits cross-legged on the floor. The scent of rain outside mixes with the faint aroma of jasmine and old parchment. The room feels heavy, with anticipation and unseen forces. Suddenly, a gentle breeze brushes against her face, whispering secrets only she can hear. Tiny flickers of light swirl around her like fireflies. They're delicate, mysterious, almost alive. A soft voice echoes, calm, commanding, full of ancient wisdom. It's the protective spirit. Trust your discernment, it whispers. Not every light is true. Some glow from fears, from shadows pretending to be guides. She feels her heart tighten. Her brow furrows, memories flooding in, moments when false promises almost led her astray. Her mind races. How do I tell the difference? The spirit's voice continues, gentle but firm. Observe the space between shadows. Silence the noise of deception. Learn to see with your inner eye. In this moment, she faces a choice. Trust the luminous figures reaching out or peer past the glow into the silence where truth waits. Her hand hovers, trembling. The night outside whispers softly, rain's scent thick in the air, leaf rustle echoing like subtle doubts. Time pauses. Everything holds its breath. Will she cling to illusions or step into clarity? The scene hangs, suspended between trust and fear, light and shadow, knowing that wisdom is not silence, but discernment, a steady light within. Rain drips from the gutter, bouncing into puddles as dusk settles over the city. The scent of damp asphalt mixes with a distant incense that still lingers from the old church around the corner. Somewhere in the shadows, faint footsteps echo. Unsure, hesitant. A young girl clings to her coat, eyes wide, her breath visible in the cool air. Outwardly, everything feels silent, yet inside her, 1,000 questions swirl like leaves caught in a storm. Suddenly, a soft, commanding whisper brushes past her ear. Calm, ancient, unwavering. It's the protective spirit, a guardian cloaked in wisdom, shining a light she can't see but can feel. Trust your discernment, it says gently. Not every glow is real. Some lights are shadows pretending to be guides. The girl's brow furrows as flashes of past confusion flicker in her mind, those deceptive promises that once led her astray. She wonders, how do I tell the truth from false hope? Her hand trembles, hovering in the cool air. Outside, rain taps softly on the pavement. The leaves rustle, a subtle reminder of how everything unseen can be just as dangerous as what's visible. The spirit's voice persists, softer now, telling her to quiet the noise of false promises and look with her inner sight, her true sense of knowing. The moment hangs suspended, as if the universe has paused just for her decision. In that silence, shadows flicker, illusions that offer comfort but hide deception. But within her, a steady spark flickers. Will she cling to the illusions, or will she step into clarity? Somewhere deep within, she senses that wisdom isn't found in silence, but in discernment, the steady, gentle light of truth. She takes a breath, slowly. Then, with now more confidence than before, she steps forward, trusting her inner voice, trusting the unseen guide who's been with her all along. A gentle breeze stirs through a sun-dappled forest clearing, pine scent mingling with damp earth, leaves rustling softly. A child sits quietly, eyes focused on the shifting shadows before them. In that stillness, a memory flickers to life. Suddenly, they recall the warmth of a hand, the protective spirit, its presence like a steady, unwavering pulse beside them. The spirit's voice echoes softly, guiding, shielding. Trust your discernment, it whispers. Not every light is real. Some shadows pretend to be guides. The child's brow furrows as flashbacks of deception flash through their mind. Those false promises, confusing whispers that once pulled them off course. Their hand hesitates in the cool air, questioning what to believe. Outside, rain taps gently on the leaves, a subtle reminder. What you can't see can be just as dangerous as what's clear. The spirit's voice persists, a gentle call to inner sight. Quiet the noise of false promises, it urges. See with your true knowing. Shadows dance at the edge, illusions cloaking truths, offering comfort but hiding danger. Yet within the child, a spark ignites, a quiet courage. Will they cling to illusions or step into clarity? Something deep within whispers that wisdom isn't silence but discernment, an inner light that cuts through every lie, every fear. They breathe in softly, then take a tentative step forward, trusting that unseen guide, that protective spirit who's been with them all along. Because sometimes the bravest act is a simple choice: to listen, to trust, to walk in the light of what's true. Beneath a sky painted in muted gray, The wind whispers through rustling leaves, carrying secrets only the soul can hear. A young girl sits quietly on a worn bench, eyes fixed on shadows flickering at her feet. She's caught between two worlds, the deceptive allure of the two unseen people, charming fragments of light that promise comfort, yet hide unseen dangers. Her heart beats faster. A chilly scent of rain drifts in, mingling with her trembling breath. Suddenly, a calm, commanding presence emerges inside her mind, the protective spirit. Its voice, gentle yet firm, slices through the fog of doubt. Not everything that shines is real, it whispers. Trust your discernment. Tears well up as shadowy illusions waver, dissolving into harmless fragments of light. The child's face glistens. Gratitude, fear, trust, intertwined in a sacred quiet. In that moment, the unseen barriers fall away, revealing clarity. The false guides fade into harmless echoes. Only the enduring glow of truth remains. And in that sacred silence, a newfound courage rises, to choose discernment over illusion, trust over fear. Because sometimes survival is simply trusting the inner light guiding us home.